do I have? What are the dots for? Why is this one up? Does it usually go on all three? When you hit yours, hit your other one. Oh, they both go on. I thought only the one went on. Okay. Okay. Call the July 15th ZBA meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Board Member May.
Present.
Bueno.
Here.
Chair Bavacqua.
Here.
Burke.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Are there any official communications?
There are no official communications at this time from staff.
And does anybody have any concerns, questions, comments about the minutes from the last meeting? And if not, do we have a motion?
I move to approve the minutes.
I second.
So we've got a motion to approve from Burke and a second from, I'm going to say May.
Ladies first.
Miss Bailey.
So roll call, please.
May.
Yes.
Bueno.
Abstain.
Bavacqua.
Yes.
Burke.
Yes.
Anderson. Right.
Approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any concerns about the agenda? Seeing none, that's approved. Old business.
No old business.
Okay. And on to the fun stuff. New business.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to discuss variance ZBA 24-007. Applicant Anthony Jackson, who is here representing CNS Healthcare for the following address, 600 North Telegraph Road, parcel ID 64-1413010104. And the request is to approve a medical facility in a C4 zoning district. The applicant requests a use variance to approve a medical facility in a C4 zoning district. CNS Healthcare plans to renovate the 55,000 square foot space to provide behavioral health services as a federally certified community behavioral health clinic. And we happen to have an aerial image here of the property, which is located right smack dab in the red square. And we happen to have the zoning district here to the left. We happen to have a zoning map, and above is where the star and this little area here of where that principal structure is, and a rendered image here of where this location will be, which is in the Circuit City Plaza right now. So for a little bit of context, for the past 15 years, CNS has served the citizens of Pontiac, actively seeking suitable facility space for the last 5 years to accommodate expansion. However, the lack of available facility space has hindered this effort. CNS Healthcare requests a variance to approve a medical facility in a C4 zoning district. The proposed facility will span 92,225 square feet on a land area of 187,173 square feet, or 4.297 acres. They plan to renovate approximately 55,000 square feet of this space to provide behavioral health services as a federally certified community behavioral health clinic. The property, located north of Telegraph Road and adjacent to Vanguard Drive, is subject to a variance request from Section 2.311 of the zoning ordinance. The facility will serve an average of 225 patients per day, employ 157 staff members, and operate from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And we happen to have another rendered image here of the site. And to the right here, the site plan, which will be the location here. And For the standards of approval, the property in question cannot be reasonably used or cannot yield a reasonably return on a prudent investment if the property would be used only for a purpose allowed in the zoning district. The plight is due to unique circumstances peculiar to the property and not to general neighborhood conditions. The use to be authorized by the variance will not alter the essential character of the area and locality. The problem is not self-created. The spirit of this ordinance will be observed, public safety and welfare secured, and substantial justice done. There is compliance with the standards set forth in section 6.401.b of the zoning ordinance, and there is compliance with any applicable standards for discretionary concerns as contained in section 6.303 of the zoning ordinance. And for the analysis here, staff suggested here, while many retail shops have been located within the building through the years, there's a growing amount of vacancy in this building and the general corridor. There does not appear to be any unique circumstances peculiar to the property. The proposed use is compatible with the surrounding suburban businesses district and would not introduce significant changes that would alter the area's essential character. The request appears to be self-created. The renovated facility will enhance public safety and welfare by offering accessible mental health and substance use services to the community. The request variance complies with section 6.401B standards as it aligns with the city's comprehensive master plan, maintains harmony with the area's character, does not alter the essential character of the neighborhood, and poses no hazards. And we happen to have the sample motions here for your reference. And to that, I turn to the board here for any questions.
Any questions from the board?
No.
No?
Is this renovation of the whole building?
No, just the Circuit City portion, not the principal.
I'm sorry, you can't.
So just the Circuit City portion, not the entire building. Right.
Isn't it a medical facility for drug veterans in that area? Or is this going to be it?
That I am not aware of, no.
We had something like this before, but I don't know if it became of it or they were thinking about it.
I don't believe for this particular address, but I can look into
It
that.
was in this area.
There was a VA request a while ago,
Yeah.
a few years ago, I think,
Okay.
for the same.
I see. Yeah, that was definitely before our time. We can look into that.
Okay. Would the applicant like to make any comments?
Yes. Good evening. My name is Darnell Boynton. I am the Chief Corporate Compliance Officer and General Counsel for CNS Healthcare. And when I graduated from law school, I never imagined that I would be actually working for an organization where I found my true passion. As you may know, CNS Healthcare is a federally certified behavioral health clinic. We serve what we believe to be Michigan and Pontiac's most vulnerable citizens. Those are individuals who have mild to severely mental illness. And what we do is we partner with them on their journey to wellness, where they are able to live very, very productive lives in the community. We take that work very, very seriously, and because of that, we have been very, very committed to the city of Pontiac. I'm sorry, sir, could you just turn on your microphone? There we go. I'm sorry. We have been very, very committed to the city of Pontiac for many, many years. We have a Visions Clubhouse right there on Elizabeth Lake Road, where individuals are able to come and engage in what we call a work-ordered day. That has been a pillar in the community for the individuals that they serve. And because of the growing need of quality behavioral health care services, we found it necessary, to meet that need and to meet that demand. And it has taken us a very, very long time to find a suitable property. And when this property became available, we jumped at the opportunity to obtain it. We are looking forward to being able to continue to provide these very essential services in that space. We have neighbors that we intend to, engage with. I believe there's a DaVita dialysis center right there adjacent to us, but we really do look forward to continuing to serve and meet the need of this very vulnerable population. We don't take it lightly, and we actually see it as an honor to be recognized as a federally certified qualified behavioral health care clinic that was established by Debbie Stabenow. That means that we provide premier services, and we want to continue that here in the city of Pontiac.
I don't have anything. I'm Anthony Jackson. I'm the Director of Facilities. And to make mention of the Visions Clubhouse that he spoke on, we've been over there for probably 10 years. And then we also have another location in Pontiac as well, off of Perry Street. So we've been in the community 10 years plus now. So.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant?
Yes, I have a question. So do you all plan to move the facility from where you all are located over in Waterford to over there?
So we have two facilities. We have a Waterford facility and we have a Pontiac facility.
Right.
Excuse me, and we do plan on consolidating, and we made the choice to make that consolidation in Pontiac. So yes, to answer your question, we do plan on, we were in long-term leases. Mm-hmm. I think both of those leases were 15-year leases. We were in long-term 15-year leases. Those leases became not fiscally sound for us to continue in for such a long period of time, and it actually made much more sense for us to purchase. So we made a very conscious effort to purchase in Pontiac, and that's what we did. So yes, to answer your question.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I speak with a lot of your employees daily.
And a lot of
that's awesome. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
to hear that.
Thank you.
Because it's well needed here, just in Pontiac, period.
Yes.
It's well needed. So yeah, I like that.
And a lot of those 157 employees are actual residents of Pontiac. Mm-hmm. Our board, our CNS Healthcare Board, is comprised of several members who are Pontiac residents. We have a very vested interest in serving Pontiac, and not only do we serve, but we also allow the residents to serve with us. So it's a great win-win situation.
Awesome.
Excellent. Any other questions?
We had a facility that was going to come over there before, but I could imagine you serve a lot of veterans too, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from last. I don't know how the other to develop, but I'm glad you're doing it because a lot of the mental health is vets, especially from Iraq, Iran, but especially Vietnam war vets.
Yeah.
A lot of my age and stuff, my comrades and stuff like that. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, we serve a lot of vets. We actually, probably about a week and a half ago, we had what you call I Am the Storm, and that's where we celebrated our women veterans. And we have a similar program coming up in the fall for where we honor, our male veterans as well. We take that population very, very seriously. We service children all the way up, to 99, and then every group in between. So whether you've been a military person or whether you're a member of the LGBTQIA+ community, the homeless community, we serve all of those individuals.
Okay.
Awesome.
You have questions?
Just so I could have a better idea.
Mike, please.
So I can have a better idea of what you offer. Is this more like a medical office that people come in with appointments and visit staff and help that way, or how does this work? How does this thing work?
It's a behavioral health care clinic. So most of the individuals come in and they receive therapy. So they sit down with a therapist or a psychiatrist or psychologist, or they engage in what we call group activities. And yes, they make appointments and they come and they meet with their case managers who help them with a litany of services within the behavioral health care community as well as outside the behavioral health care community.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I need to know. Thank you.
Is there an emergency clinic element as well, or is it just appointments?
So as a certified community behavioral health care clinic, we are federally charged with offering services 24/7. Crisis services, we partner with Common Ground. Common Ground is our crisis service partner. So if any of our citizens have an issue after hours, they will be directed to Common Ground to take care of those services 24/7 that are emergent. Our goal is always to keep individuals out of the hospital. We believe that the work that we do provides such therapeutic care that they are able to live productive lives in the community. So when we're able to get to them early and provide that level of intervention, individuals thrive in the community. We believe that emergency room settings are not the proper settings. They're ill-equipped to deal with, the issues that our individuals have, and that's why it's very vital that we have these in the community. That's why the governor a very long time ago decided to close a lot of the inpatient facilities because evidence-based practices show that with the right treatment, the right care, and the right people delivering that care, people can live very productive lives in the community. And we took up the mantle to take on that charge, and I think we've been doing it very successfully.
Thank you. No further questions. Does anybody have a motion?
Yep. Okay.
I move to approve the use variance for a medical facility in a C4 zoning district at 600 North Telegraph following findings of fact in the staff report.
Second, Burke.
We have a motion by May, a second by Burke. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
May,
Yes.
Bueno,
Yes.
Bavacqua,
Yes.
Burke,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations,
Good luck,
gentlemen.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
And we also do our annual turkey giveaway with you guys, so.
That's
and
right.
We hold that right here at the building, so, look forward to seeing you out there too.
Thanks a lot.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Have a
too.
good
Thank you.
night. Thank you.
No
If you
problem.
need anything else from me, just give me a call.
Will do.
Okay,
Thank
all right.
you.
Have a good night, everyone.
You too.
too.
Thank you.
Item B.
It's not working. Moving on to the second case, variance ZBA 24-008. Applicant's name is Mr. Alan Martin for the Community Housing Network, and the address here that we'll be discussing will be 41 Collingwood Avenue for parcel ID 641433207-006. And today's request is for a variance to construct a single-family home on a 34.5 wide foot lot. Alan Martin, representing the Community Housing Network again, is requesting a variance to approve a parcel width of 34.5 feet and a non-conforming parcel size of 4,305 square feet for the construction of a single-family home. And we happen to have here an aerial view of where the home will be constructed in this red rectangular shape here. And to the left here, we happen to have the zoning map where the residential area is. And to the right, we happen to have a street view image here of where the parcel is located, 41 Collingwood. And just a brief overview here, the property located south of Collingwood Avenue between South Jesse Street and South Shirley Avenue is subject to a variance request from section 2.304 of the zoning ordinance. Although the parcel is less than the standard 7,200 square feet, section 6.505 of the zoning ordinance permits reduced lot sizes of 4,800 square feet for qualifying single-family homes. And this parcel does not meet zoning requirements, prompting CHN to request the lot width variance. The Community Housing Network has submitted several variance requests over the last 11 years for parcels in various phases of the Unity Park development. All but one have been approved. CHN is constructing 15 new single-family rental homes as phase 6 of its Unity Park Rentals development. And this phase will bring the total number of homes constructed in Unity Park Rentals to 97, with a total investment of $284 million since the year of 2013. And we happen to have a site plan image here. Again, as you can see, the parcel is in that rectangular shape here. And we just went over the standards of approval, so I'm not going to go over those. But staff concluded here that with the lot width may not be less than the width of the majority, 50% or more of lots in the surrounding area that are developed with existing single-family dwellings. Surrounding area shall be defined as all of the lots abutting either side of the streets that abut the lot in question and which are also located within 500 feet of said lot. In this situation, the minimum lot width required is 40 feet. Property widths is the surrounding 500 feet or anywhere from 38 feet wide to 80 feet as a result of lot combinations. Several properties on this block of Collingwood were platted 38 feet wide, often from the platting regulations at the time. Some of these lots have been combined and comply with the zoning standards, but this is one of several lots that do not meet that 40 feet standard. And I happen to have the sample motions here for your approval. With that, any other questions here from the board?
Can you tell, how many of the platted lots are not of sufficient size? It looked like, looking at that map, it looked like there were a lot of them that were too small. And I don't know if you know the numbers.
Do we have that number? No.
Yeah, if you want to go to that aerial with the zoning
Yeah.
map. But yeah, I don't have the number off the top of my head, but you'll notice that most of the parcels on that strip are not developed, and it's because of this reason that most of these parcels are too narrow. And so that's the need for the request.
Quite often when you run into situations where you're seeing something become a problem and it's repeatable like that, they can take care of it on the planning side where an adjustment's made.
So we have. So actually, as of last year, the rule was 60 feet was the requirement. We have since reduced that to 40 to take care of 90% of the issues in the city, but there are still these outlying, weird ones that we're still trying to address through the ZBA method.
Okay. Any other questions?
Moment, we're going to open up the floor.
We're questions on the administration, then we'll open it up for you.
Have you reviewed the house that they plan to build here, or is it going to need any additional setback requirements or anything like that with this size of lot?
That is another process, but as we can see here right now, it does happen to meet all requirements.
Okay, and I think we've gone through this before with these substandard lot sizes, but just asking the question, the applicant cannot, there's a lot of vacant land, they cannot buy any property next to it to meet a conforming lot.
That's really a question for the applicant, but we did explore that with them prior to suggesting they go the variance route.
Any other questions of administration? The applicant like to speak? Oh. Oh, okay, sorry.
Good evening. My name is CJ Felton. I'm Director of Real Estate Development for Community Housing Network. I just have a couple of things to add. One, there was a typo in there. It's 28.4 million, not 284 million. This particular, both properties we're talking about tonight are fairly similar with the issue at hand. This is interesting. We have owned this property when it had a house on it. We bought the property at the tax foreclosure auction, and we were told it did not have a house on it, and it had a house on it. So we deeded it back to the State Land Bank Authority, and they used hardest hit funds to demolish it. So, and that, I believe, took place in 2016. So there was a single-family home on this lot at, up until 2015 or thereabouts. That's really all I had on this property. Do any of you have questions for me?
No questions?
Just the same question as asked the vacant property on either side. There's nothing to expand it to become a conforming lot?
We have attempted that and have not been successful. I think if you look at the two homes just to the south there, those are both homes that we built, and we were able to acquire 3 parcels, combine and divide into 2 in order to meet the requirements there. There's just, without picking up any additional parcels there, we're not able to do that with this one.
And do you know, I know it hasn't gone through SAP, do you know the house that you're planning on putting there is going to fit without additional variances?
No. You've got the site plan that we submitted in here. Your planning department's already reviewed that for a couple of other lots that would be part of these 15 homes. So we don't need any, meets all the setback requirements and all that. It's literally just the dimension variance that we are seeking.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does there happen to be a motion? Oh. Would you like to speak? Okay. Yeah, we'll open public comment for this.
Well, I actually own the rest of that street, pretty much both sides. And I own the lot that's next to that one and down to the dead end. And if you noticed on that map that driveway is a shared drive. I don't know if you paid any attention to that, because I used to own a little pink house too. And so I have a problem, because when they built the 2 homes that he's talking about, and we fought hard to get Collingwood and Wall Street to be repaved, and the city did an excellent job, and then they came along, tore up the rest of that street and every home that they put along on Wall Street, and there are holes there that are still left. And I'm afraid that if there's a house built there and I'm directly across from it, because we can't go down the street. I mean, the holes are just that bad from the curb to the next curb.
Oh, wow.
And a neighbor at the other end, they've been to meetings, the city, nothing's been done about it. And they told us that it was going to be fixed, that it would have been addressed and taken care of. I have concrete squares left on some of my property that was never removed, and it's still there. So I have a problem. And plus, I would like to know what size home would be built there, because it's not wide enough. And I would like to know if a garage is going to be put, because you're going to need part of that shared driveway, which is on the property that I own also. So it just becomes an issue for me, because, like I said, I don't have any idea what size home they plan to even put there. And that was a very small 1, 2, two-bedroom, living room, kitchen, bathroom home that was sitting there, the little pink house.
So we've been told that the home would meet all setback requirements, and that planning has looked at the proposed home. Is this correct?
Yep, so the rear, or the side yard setback requirement is 5 feet. Rear yard is 30 and front is 25.
Okay. And then the driveway consideration? Is there going to be a driveway issue if this home goes in?
So I haven't looked at that part yet, but according to the plans that were submitted, it looks like they have their own driveway proposed, is that correct?
And garage.
And garage.
And garage.
And ma'am, can we just get your name and
Sandra
address for the
Hildy.
record? Okay, and address too for a record.
34 Collingwood Street, Pontiac, 48342.
Thank you.
So the home meets setback requirements. Are we sure that the garage will meet the requirements as well? As far as we know.
And square footage requirement too.
And if I may, even if you granted this variance, they could not move forward with an application that did not meet all the code requirements. So that all will be checked when it comes time to actually issue the building permit itself. Yeah.
That's not before us anyway.
Right.
Right. I'm just curious to know if what's being said is correct or not.
Okay.
Any other questions for public comment?
I got something to say. She's up there. Ma'am, who's your council person?
We're in District 7, I believe.
So that's
Who is that?
McGinnis.
That's
McGinnis.
McGinn, yeah.
Ma'am, I would suggest your street problem, hole problem, all that kind of stuff, you take, this is not the place here. We just doing a variance. Go to Mike McGinnis and tell him, Big Mike, he's the president of the council, that you have these problems with these holes and whatever, and he will get in contact with you while you call him and talk to him and tell him your problem, and I'm sure he's the kind of guy who'll help you solve all these problems. A lot of people come to different meetings and they bring a different problem with everything, but this is not the place to solve that problem, so I'm giving you the place where you can go and you're a councilman that has more power that he can solve all those problems that you're dealing with. He can get together with the inspectors, control and stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I understand your point. It's just the fact that the street was not torn up until they tore it up to build those two homes. That's my issue.
Well, that should have been done.
And they said that they were going to repair the.
That should have been done by the inspectors and the people that's out there to inspect that, the city inspectors and everything. If somebody I worked for Consumers Energy for 45 years, and I was to tear up holes, fixing gas leak, and we had to go back, put cold patch, then get a permanent patch out there to do it, to replace it. Now, who's responsible for making consumers do that is the city.
Yes.
The city has to make them do that. So go to Mike, call him, and I guarantee you'll get that resolved. And we're just here for variances for them to do it, what they want to do, but we want them to do it right.
Okay, and like I said, I just have an issue because if they're going to build it, and if you're going to approve for them to build it, they're going to tear it up, and then I've got the same issue all over again, which is right at my driveway. So.
Okay, just pick up the phone.
Yes.
And call Mike at home. Okay.
I've called him before, and I didn't get any resolve to an issue that I had, so.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. You see that podium you're at right there? If you got a problem and you want to, just come down here and sign up for public comment and talk to him face to face.
Well, because I talked to him on the phone, and he was gonna give the
they got an office
problem
right-
to someone else, and that was where I guess it got
They
lost
also
in
have an office of the
translation.
secretary right down in the council quarters. I think it's upstairs here, right down at the end, where you can come here to about 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock they're usually here. You can come down there and call, and she'll take the message. If you don't, you come down here in person.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, I don't have a problem. I'm so used to dealing with the city.
Thanks, guys. Any other public comment? Seeing none, we're going to close public comment.
have well, regarding this item, the applicant's right here. Can he address her, who to see, who to contact with the whole?
Yeah. I think.
Let's not
Yeah,
open
that's-
up a
that's not
whole
what we're here
conversation
for.
about this,
Right.
because
Right now, instead of going through the city, why would we approve something if they haven't finished what they started before?
We wanna
because
stick
we
to the
don't
variance.
know
we need to
how
stick-
these holes got there, and
Right.
we don't know that for a fact. We have someone's position on it, and that's fine, but we're not going to litigate that here in the ZBA. So
Right.
that's fine. There's a process. We'll
Variance
let them go
only.
through it.
Variance only.
Variance only. We're closing public comment.
I'd like to make the motion. I move to approve the dimensional variance for a setback of 34.5 feet and 4,305 square feet non-conforming lot size for 41 Collingwood Avenue, following the findings of fact in the staff report.
I second.
So we have a motion by Burke, second by May. Roll call, please. Or actually, discussion on the motion. Anyone? Roll call, please.
May,
Yes.
Bueno,
Yes.
Mavakwa,
Yes.
Burke,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Item C.
This next case is going to be very similar. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Corey. And variance ZBA 24-009. Once again, we are here with Mr. Alan Martin, who is representing the Community Housing Network for 176 Wall Street. Parcel ID 64-1433251012, and this variance is to construct a single-family home on a 36-foot wide lot. Mr. Martin, again representing the Community Housing Network, is requesting a variance to approve a parcel width of 36 feet and a non-conforming parcel size of 5,895 square feet for the construction of a single-family home. Although the parcel is less than the standard, again, of 7,200 square feet, Section 6.506 of the zoning ordinance permits reduced lot sizes of 4,800 square feet for qualifying single-family homes. And we happen to have another aerial image here of the parcel. Apologies if the red line is a little faint. And we happen to have the zoning map here to the left. This miniature circle here is where the parcel is, and we happen to have a street view image here of where the lot land is. And for context, the property located on Wall Street between South Jesse and South Safford Street is subject to a variance request from Section 2.304 of the zoning ordinance. This parcel does not meet zoning requirements to construct for lot width, prompting Community Housing Network to request variances for a required 40-foot lot width. Again, this parcel is 36 feet lot width. The Community Housing Network has submitted several variance requests over the last 11 years for parcels in various phases of the United Park development. All but one has been approved, and we have gone over this once before, so I'm not going to bore you with the details. And the site plan here, we happen to have in this red rectangular here, standards approval, which are the same here as we just discussed. And for the staff analysis, lot width may not be less than the width of the majority of lots in the surrounding area that are developed with existing single-family dwellings. Surrounding area shall be defined as all of the lots abutting either side of the streets that abut the lot in question and which are also located within 500 feet of said lot. The applicant requests one variance, which we have discussed, and most of the lots on the south side of Wall Street are 36 feet in width, subdivided before the current minimum zoning standard of 40-foot lot width. And that concludes the presentation. I happen to have the sample motions here for your review.
No, I'm here about that, man.
Okay, we're going to get to you in 1 second.
Questions for administration? Would the applicant like to speak?
Thank you again. 176 Wall is another property that had a home on it. I don't know exactly when that home was demolished. Based on aerial photography, it was sometime between 2010 and 2012, but we didn't actually start working in the Unity Park neighborhood until at some point in 2012. So that lot has been vacant for a long time. We have also, over the years, built 6 brand-new homes in fair proximity to this parcel. The good news I can tell you is I think Wall Street, should this get approved and we're able to build on that lot, I think there's only one vacant lot left on Wall Street. And when we started 11 years ago, there were 50 homes in that neighborhood, the entire Unity Park neighborhood, that needed to come down, and a lot of vacant lots that were being dumped on, and it was not a good thing for that neighborhood and for the city as a whole. And almost all the vacant property is now gone. I think is really positive thing for everybody.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Seeing none, we'll open public comment.
All right, sir. If you want to step to the mic and just state your name and address.
My name is Roosevelt Foster. I live at 889 Palmer Drive. That lot he's talking about is my lot. I used to own the house 2 houses down. I just sold it a couple of years ago, and I had bought a lot. Okay, and I was thinking I was buying the lot right next to that property, but to find out, it's the next lot over, and that's the picture you got. That's my lot.
Not according to title. The State Land Bank Authority has ownership of the property. I submitted that with our packet. So I'm not sure how
Well,
to address
check to see who's paying the taxes on that lot. I am.
There's no taxes on the lot.
Well, I pay taxes every year.
So according to
I
the
just paid
Oakland,
tax the other day on that lot.
according to Oakland County Equalization, the owner is State Land Bank Authority.
There's 2 lots there. Okay, 172 Wall Street, I used to own that house. I sold it a couple of years ago. Okay, I bought a lot. I thought I was buying the one right next to it. Come to find out, they said, not that one, it's the other one. The other one is the picture you showing. I just cut that lot a couple of days ago.
Right.
For the information we have, it obviously isn't showing that. I mean, I would suggest that you get your parcel ID number, take a look at the county aerial information, cross-reference it, make sure that, you know, you're looking at the right piece of property.
Okay, I should have my parcel ID right
I
here.
mean, I don't know that we
Can-
can
Yeah.
help with this right now,
Can we
but
make a conditional, a motion conditioned upon ownership? So we don't have to come back?
Sure, I guess, yeah. On condition, staff will double check.
Until we
Yeah.
validate
Yeah, I have
Staff
a
will
parcel
verify with
ID
the
right
county.
here, if you need that.
I mean, I don't know that we want to get into doing this live here. But,
No,
but
No, we're not
maybe
gonna
someone
do this
can
live.
help him from administration if
Absolutely,
possible.
100%. We can definitely communicate with you and getting the research that we need to figure out what's going on. So we can communicate with you after the meeting, and we can go forward from there.
Okay.
But for the assurance of the board, we do verify ownership prior to having cases come here.
Right.
This was all checked ahead of time. The
And submitted
owner
with
is
the
the State
application.
Land Bank Authority.
And it still has to go before, this is only for the variance anyways. There are still other steps that have
Exactly.
to take place
Right.
regardless.
That's
So,
correct.
Yeah, so I'd like to make a motion.
Well, let's close public. So communicate with administration. Nothing can really happen until this goes further along in the process. This is just for a variance. But I'm sure that before anything happens, you'll get confirmation one way or the other. And there's going to be a motion that's contingent upon ownership clarification. So,
Okay, all right.
anyone else like to speak for public comment? Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Is there a motion?
I will make a motion. I move to approve the dimensional variance for a setback of 36 feet and a 5,895 square foot non-conforming lot size for 176 Wall Street, following the findings of fact in the staff report, conditioned upon finding that the lot does in fact belong to the applicant.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I second.
Motion by Burke, second by May.
All right, thank you, ladies.
And roll call, please.
May,
Yes.
Bueno,
Yes.
Bavacqua,
Yes.
Burke,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next item is miscellaneous. Do we have any miscellaneous?
No miscellaneous.
Any miscellaneous from board members?
No.
Question.
Okay.
We had a case, 3 months ago? What would have happened to that Highland Street? It went to court?
You're referring to 404 Highland.
Yeah.
It's still pending litigation, and there has been no update yet. 404 Highland.
It was an extra
I
large.
can't remember what the name was
Attached
specifically.
accessory.
Garage.
Yeah. Oh, right, the garage. Yes.
Garage.
So I just wanted to make a comment since, that was the previous administration that fell under, but there's a big gap there. Now, I know you can't mention anything since it's under litigation, but is there verbiage with our accessory building in the single family that allowed that gave the idea for the previous administration that it's just my perspective that since it was attached, they could do anything they want, size-wise, because that's what basically happened. It never came to the zoning board, except for the final remedy of being denied after it's been built. But, with all the finding of facts that came out of that job, it was quite surprising that the previous staff let it go so far and then into an inspection. So I didn't know if there was something in our verbiage that we need to look at of accessory buildings, single family attached to the house that gave it a carte blanche to do whatever they want.
I know that we have communicated with the city attorney for quite some time now regarding this case, and I really want to defer to her about that particular case. Obviously, with her not being here.
Because this is pending, but
Yeah.
if there's something verbiage-wise that we need to look at.
We'll explore I know what you're getting
Yeah,
at. We'll
yeah.
explore it,
Yeah, because
but we have to be careful what
It
we
was
say.
really
Right.
strange that that particular case went as far as it did with the
Really?
blessing from everybody in the city,
Really?
size-wise, and just not coming for any variances, and it was given a blessing, and it went all the way now it's in court.
I appreciate your interest in learning a little bit more about it, and they've mentioned that they're going to look into concerns over, possible verbiage changes if necessary. But I don't want to go too far down discussing a case that's under
No, I
current
just
litigation.
wanted to know
Just for
what
public
was
record.
going, and if there was some verbiage that's not clear or needs to be taken care of.
Right. Understood.
We'll look into it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Can you please look into that? I don't think that case has never come before us for variances or anything, because I know Mr. Brenner would have voted no on that. I don't think so. Could you check and see? Because I don't want the people coming out and screaming, hollering, well, we passed the variance and stuff, and because this guy, I've been to court, with him. I've been in the courtroom listening and everything, and I believe this is the same guy that was the first partner.
Can we just just not talk about an ongoing case?
I don't want us to be dragged back into this.
The best way to have us dragged into it is to continue to keep talking about it.
Yeah, we
So
want to leave it at that. We'll
let's
do.
just let things develop.
Absolutely.
So if there's nothing else, next item on the agenda is staff communications.
So next meeting will be next month, held Monday, August 19th at 6:30 p.m. We have communicated in advance to reach out to us in the event that you guys aren't able to attend the meeting. I know things happen with family and such. So if you are able to communicate with us at least a few days in advance that you're not able to attend the next meeting, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated, just because we do need quorum. So we want to make sure that we do happen to have everyone here. Thank you all for attending today. Next thing would be just to discuss the master plan. And we did happen to have our first meeting with McKenna and Associates, and Chair Babakwa and Board Member Burke, if you want to speak to that, just for the ones who weren't here for that would be helpful.
Jen, do you want
It was just so it was great presentation, lots of information from City Council and from other stakeholders about kind of the core ideas and the way the meeting was conducted. Just for your information, if you've ever done a Menti where you kind of put in, it's a survey, and you like, what's important to you about downtown development or transportation and walkability, improved lighting, stuff like that. And it was a large crowd, and so there was a lot of really, really good information that came out of it, some great ideas. It was a little over 2-hour meeting, and it was presentation but interactive, questions, a lot of different community members, and it was nice to see such a broad range of participants. It wasn't kind of who you would normally see at all of these types of events. So it was a really, really good meeting, I thought. I look forward to what they're doing, and it was nice because they talked about, all right, what's feasible in the next year or two? Look at a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. We should constantly revisit the master plan every 5 years. What are you thinking long-term goal for Pontiac in 100 years? So it was great the way they broke it down. They did a phenomenal job.
Well said.
I thought.
Agreed.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it was mentioned at the meeting that the staff should be commended in how it seemed like how quickly they pulled together a room full of stakeholders that quickly. I guess a bit of a testament to the contact information that they have, or the ability to gather more contact information through the initial contact base. I mean, it was pretty impressive, because there's been talk about, we need to get this master plan process started, and just out of the gate, we had a room full of people and, great feedback. There's those that are probably very execution-oriented who sit in a meeting like that and say, oh, it's a bit fluffy, but it's a great way to start, to get some strategic direction. I thought a lot of the input from people, and the fact that it's kind of anonymous, you're just on your phone putting in your thoughts on any specific issue in terms of throwing in a couple of words here and there, and there was some good insight there. I thought it. Hopefully, it'll be well utilized as the plan process moves forward. But great start, and looking forward to doing more and watching this thing develop.
Likewise.
Yeah, and just one other thing. Anybody one of the things that came out of it that I thought was very interesting, and it's based on kind of a meeting we had with the HDC. We had a town hall, and 950 flyers were sent out for our town hall meeting for Historic Commission, and we ended up with 60 people that showed up for the meeting. One of the things is, how do you reach people? What's the best format? We keep hearing that people in Pontiac don't have email. Well, you don't see very many people without a phone. Right. So what's the best way to reach people? So kind of as you're interacting, I think that's something to really think about. And it's, what's the difference between being able to reach people and people being engaged or caring enough to participate? I think we reach a lot of people. I feel like they just don't necessarily care or don't want to participate. So just as you're talking to people, see if you can figure out the ways they best interact. I think that's good to know.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, she'll be back.
I just want to add real quick that on the topic of the master plan, the city council, there's going to be a master plan presentation at the Tuesday, July 23rd city council meeting. And this is to provide information to the community, and they'll have information about the process, how everyone can get involved, and upcoming dates for various activities.
Thank you.
Said that was the 23rd?
Yes, the regularly scheduled 23rd city council meeting.
Okay, all right.
All right.
From tomorrow. A week from tomorrow.
Okay.
If there are no other staff communications, is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Adjourned.